The Ministry of Strategy and Finance and the Bank of Korea opened a Won-yuan direct trading market at 9 a.m. on December 1st. Our finance correspondent Hwang Ji-hye told us more. The Korea exchange market is a major player in foreign exchange, and a central system has been established so that 64 foreign exchange banks and stock firms can put in orders to sell and buy the won and the yuan. The Won-yuan direct trading market can cut down the dealing costs in currency exchange, and there's an opportunity for the market to test out and show its potential for becoming a financial hub in Northeast Asia. The Unification Preparatory Committee set up by the presidential office met for a third time. President Park Geun-hye said that the people must have confidence that unification can aid in the development of the two Koreas and bring about happiness. This meeting was attended by the members of the Unification Preparatory Committee, experts, members of the media, and university presidents. Diverse opinions could be heard at the meeting. Presidential Office correspondent Choi You-sun brought us the report. More people in the United States are purchasing products online. Companies that deal with massive orders are using robots to get goods shipped out as quickly as possible. Reporter Kim Hyun-bin brought us the news. Amazon is using robots at its shipping centers. The robots move freely across the warehouse, scan barcodes on the floor, and take orders wirelessly from central computers. Once they receive an order, the robots find the items and bring them to a warehouse employee. This process used to take 2 to 3 hours, but the robots have cut the time to as little as 30 minutes. Other companies are investing in developing new technologies and using robots to cut down delivery times.
This is the biggest solar power plant in the capital that started operating this summer. It's equivalent to 13 football fields with a capacity of 5.6 megawatts, enough for 2,200 households a year. Solar power market or the industry is rising as the fastest growing market among the renewable energies because it is so green and it's a very environmentally friendly as it interferes with environment in a very smaller degree compared to other plants like nuclear power plant, which is very controversial at the moment, especially after the tsunami disaster in Japan. And in this first half alone this year, almost all power plants among renewable energies were of solar power generation. So that was a very remarkable growth that I paid attention to, and that was one of the reasons why I picked this item as a news for the industry insight.
Reporter Hwang Ji-sun covered a story on solar energy for this week's Industry Insight. The first place she visited was the Korea New and Renewable Energy Association.
중국 제품들이 저희보다 거의 20-30% 정도 경쟁력이 더 높다고 돼 있는데 실질적으로 어느 정도로 그렇게 차이가 나는지, 그리고 그 가격 격차가 날 수밖에 없는 이유는 또 어떤 것들이 있나요?
이 가격 경쟁력만으로는 승부를 낼 수가 없고 보다 다른 차원에서 접근을 해야 될 것으로 보입니다. 중국보다 좀 품질을 더 향상시키고 우리의 강점인 신뢰성 보강한다면은 세계 시장에 충분히 중국과 대항을 해서 경쟁해 나갈 수 있는 저력과 강점을 갖고 있다고 생각합니다.
정부 측에서 좀 어떤 지원을 해야 이 산업이 좀 더 역동적으로 발전을 할 수 있을까요?
신재생 에너지가 지구 환경을 보호하는 친환경적인 청정 에너지임에도 불구하고 환경 문제로 앞길을 제대로 나가지 못한다고 하면은 이건 코미디가 될 수밖에 없습니다. 환경 보호론자의 목소리도 중요하지만은 이 친환경 에너지가 우리의 에너지 자급률을 높이고 또 화석 연료를 감축해 나가는데 커다란 기여를 한다면은 산업 성장 관점에서 좀 더 폭넓은 시각으로 바라보는 것이 바람직하다고 봅니다.
감사합니다. 네, 인터뷰는 여기까지 하고요. 저희가 너무 일찍 와가지고.
I think one of the advantages I got by interviewing the vice president of the New and Renewable Energy Association was that he could compare the growth of solar power market compared to other renewable energy sources. So that was a very good perspective I could get only from this guy who was actually in charge of all the industries in Korea.
And I was actually referred to him by other researchers I first contacted who actually published the papers I read, and they said it was recommendable that I go and meet and talk with the vice president. So that was a very good move in terms of contacting a professional person who could provide such story and such facts that we can get easily from other people.
Ji-sun arrived at the Gangbuk Arisu Water Filter Center where 7 megawatts of solar energy are produced. It's such a vast place, so guidance from personnel at the center is a must.
축구장 13개 규모 정도 된다고 하던데 그 정도가 맞나요?
The solar energy plant is not as efficient as other plants, and thus a large expanse of land is needed to absorb large amounts of sun rays.
이게 주택이랑 산업용지로 다 공급이 되는 전력이라고 하던데.
네. 여기서 발전해가지고요.
네.
지금 전주 두 개가 지금 서 있지 않습니까?
예.
그래서 발전해서 절로 해가지고 한전 라인에다 연결했거든요. 그러니까 이 설로를 쓰는 어느 수용가가 쓰고 있는 거죠.
지금 이 연중 발전기 며칠 정도 돌리거나요? 이제
이거는
태양광이다 보니까.
아시다시피 태양이 떠 있는 한 발전이 되는 거거든요.
이렇게 흐리거나 많이 막혀 있어도 다 이제
적죠.
효율은 떨어지지만 어쨌든
그렇죠,
운영은
그렇죠.
된다는 거죠. 부지를 그냥 이 위에다가 활용을 한 건가요?
그렇죠.
원래 계획이 없었던 거?
아니요, 기존에 쓰던 이 시설물이죠. 그 옥상에다 이제 없었던 거를 설치하고.
저게 사실상 어쨌든 놀고 있던 공간을 활용하는
그렇죠,
방안인
그렇죠.
거죠.
It's hard to build solar energy plants within a city, so unused salt fields, parking lots, and other land is used. In particular, 1.5 times more electricity can be produced when roofs and other places are used.
Well, reducing carbon emissions has always been the key agenda and topic in G20 summits or other international summits. And we are all sure and very well aware that green or renewable energy is the answer to creating electricity in the next generation. But not a lot of people know that solar power is the fastest rising and the biggest sector in renewable energies over wind power. And that growth has been made just over this decade. So I wanted to tell people that solar power is the new generation and is the answer to leading such green growth in terms of creating electricity from renewable energies. And that is why I think it is important to cover the solar panel industry and this week's Insight. 네, 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하십니까.
네, 감사합니다. 그럼 솔라원이 모듈이고 큐셀이 이제 셀 담당 쪽이신 건가요? 아니면 같이 이제 어셈블을 해서 제공이 되는 건가요?
저희가 정확하게 표현드리면
네.
하나 솔라원은
네.
중국에 있는 이제 모듈,
네.
저 태양광 모듈 생산 제조 이쪽 법인이고요. 이제 하나 큐셀 코리아 같은 경우는 이제 하나 솔라원이나 또는 독일 큐셀에서 받은 모듈을 가지고 이제 시공, 설계, 시공, 유지 보수.
그럼 그 모듈은 국내인가 아니면 중국에서 한 다음에 이제 들어오는
모든 이제 완제품이 중국에서 조립이 돼서
네.
한국으로 넘어오게 됐습니다.
그럼 실질적으로 국내 생산은 거의 안 이루어지고 있는 건가요?
현재로서는 국내 생산은 아직은 없습니다.
지금 우리가 보고 있는 건
저건 태양광 모듈이라고 합니다. 알루미늄 프레임을 처리해서
네.
이렇게 되어 있는 건 태양광 모듈이라고 표현하고요. 저 태양광 모듈 한 장을 구성하기 위해서 손바닥만한 크기의 셀이라고
네.
표현하는 그 셀이 저거 같은 경우는 72장이 들어있어요. 셀이 모여서 한 장의 모듈이 되고 한 장의 모듈이 여러 장이 모여서 하나의 어레이가 돼서 가는 형태죠.
왜냐면 이게 또 연간 단위로 가니까 6,500만
그렇죠.
너무 커져가지고
네. 가는데요. 그거는 그것보다는 그냥 2.8메가와트급 발전소이고
태양광 패널이 곧 모듈을 말하는 건가요? 이제.
네, 그렇게 보시면 됩니다. 우리가 흔히 일반인들이 태양광 패널 하는 것 자체가
네.
저 한 장의 태양광 모듈을 뜻하는 거죠. 예. 그렇게 보시면
아유, 추우신데 먼 길 오시느라.
Ji-sun meets up with an employee of Hanwha Group to see what kind of efforts are being made to solidify the solar energy business in Korea.
일단 국내에서도 되게 높은 입지를 확보하고 있지만 이제 하나의 태양광 산업에서의 강점이라고 하면 아무래도 이제 해외에서 이제 더 점유율도 높여가고 있고 직접 생산한다는 걸 장점으로 들 수 있을 것 같은데요. 이 부분에 대해서는 좀 어떤 성과를 좀 주목할 만할까요?
예, 하나그룹의 태양광 사업은 2010년 그 중국의 하나솔라원, 그리고 2012년 독일의 하나큐셀을 인수하면서 세계적인 태양광 업체로 발돋움하였습니다. 그리고 하나그룹 태양광 사업의 가장 큰 특징은 그 폴리실리콘부터 해서 그리고 셀, 모듈, 그리고 설비 시공까지 모든 걸 수직 계열화하고 있다는 점이 세계에서 유일한 회사로서 그리고 세계 탑5 회사로서의 위치를 점하고 있다는 점이 가장 큰 특징입니다. 현재 세계 태양광 시장은 매년 10에서 20% 정도 성장하고 있다고 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 그래서 하나그룹의 태양광 사업 또한 그 모듈 생산량으로 따지면 현재 2.0기가 수준에서 내년도까지는 3.0기가까지 공장을 확대 증설할 예정을 갖고 있습니다. 특히 독일, 말레이시아, 중국에만 현재 모듈 생산 공장이 있는데 반해 내년도에는 한국의 국내 충북 음성에도 250메가와트 수준의 모듈 생산 기지를 만들 계획입니다. 그래서 한국 및 미국 시장 진출을 위한 노력도 펼쳐나갈 계획입니다.
네, 말씀 감사합니다.
A lot of preparation came before the interview, and because of this, everything went smoothly.
Before actually going out to the field to cover this story, I've read at least like 3 research papers that was published between this year and over the past 3 years because it was a very critical moment in this industry because the Chinese producers, they were inputting a lot of supply in this market that led to decline of the prices in the global market. And at the same time, the demand also soared. That was a very critical change in this market alone. So that was one of the reasons why I paid particular attention to the past 3 years. And so first I looked at their strategies and as well as I paid attention to the scientific terms and the words they use in the market because there are differences between a kilowatt per hour or megawatt because that's described to differentiate the energy produced by these solar power plants. So there was these economical part that I had to study as well as the scientific terms that I had to get used to before actually meeting those interviewees to cover the story.
Once the interview ends, Ji-sun takes a look around. She's looking for a suitable place to do a stand-up.
지금 여기가 서울시에서 가장 큰 태양광 발전소가 있는 곳이고 많이 성장을 하고 있다 이런 거고 이제 끝에서는 이제 정부가 이거를 좀 지원을 하려면 어떤 정책을 펴야지 산업이 더 클 수 있다는 거예요. 서론 결론.
She chooses an area where the entire center and its solar panels can be seen.
Profitability, the government must.
Ji-sun stands at a place on the roof where it's safe for her to be.
여기 안 나오죠? 주민으로 그냥 스틸이에요? This is the biggest solar power plant in the capital that started operating this summer. It's equivalent to 13 football fields with a capacity of 5.6 megawatts, enough for 2,000 households a year. 근데 픽스로 가면은 오프닝 클로징을 따는 의미가 크게 없.
걸어가면서 할까?
감독님과 카메라가 더 위험할 것 같은데? 여기서 이렇게? 그럼 발 벗을까? 근데 키가 확 줄어든다는. This is the biggest solar power plant in the capital that started operating. 죄송합니다. This is the biggest solar power plant in the capital that started operating this summer. It's equivalent to 13 football fields with a capacity of 5.6 megawatts, enough for 2,200 households a year. Solar energy is rising as the next generation of renewable energy here in Korea, accounting for 98% of all renewable power plants built in the first half this year.
Ji-sun carefully monitors herself to see how it went.
괜찮은데 어때요? Okay?
Now only the closing line is left before today's news coverage is wrapped.
The government needs to use regulations concerning installation. Industry experts point out that it's crucial that the government takes steps to speed up the growth of domestic solar power market. To expand the economy of scale and improve profitability, the government must ease regulations concerning installation. 송지선, 아리랑 뉴스.
So what I try to do when making an industry's coverage is that I want to open the story to acquaint the readers or the viewers with this term that might be unfamiliar, and I also want to conclude a story by wrapping up the story and giving them a perspective and an insight of the overview. And I actually made a research of the whole plant by walking around and running around the whole factory or the plant to see which side would be a good spot to show the whole picture to the audience. So we chose to go up to the roof of a building which was only 2 stories high, but that was enough to actually pan around all the panels which were built on the top of the plant. And for the closing, I chose to make a close-up of the solar panels on my background. So that was my plan of making this report on the field in terms of stand-ups.
We don't know if anything is possible until we give it a shot.
여기다가 인덱스를 놓을 거면은
Reporter Hwang Ji-hye was well prepared, and it showed in her story.
The market for these solar facilities is booming in Korea, accounting for 98% of all renewable power plants built in the first half this year.
Her passion shines brightly through stories.
송지선, Arirang News.
I think it is important that we consider solar power generation as a means of providing electricity to our homes, because currently only such government-led projects or the public administration, public agencies are only the ones that are actually more active in incorporating this technology. So I think we should also be more aware of how green and how environmentally friendly this industry and this power generation is, and make use of them in our daily lives, not just taking a look at them in examples demonstrated by other public agencies at the moment.
My name is Ingo Wonder. I'm a pianist, and I travel all around the world to play beautiful music for people, like here in Korea.
So is this your first visit to Korea?
My second one.
Oh, your second, I see.
Yeah.
When was your first again? The year of?
That was 2012.
Was that also for the?
Sejong Center I played.
Oh, I see.
As for this visit, I didn't have a lot of time. We were at Gangnam district and had some samgyeopsal, and that was it so far. So now I'm here. So it's all very quick, you know. One has to try to find time, even in a very short period of time that you have in a city. Well, I'm not from Germany. I'm from Austria, but we speak German too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So
There's differences, but yeah.
And you speak English?
Yes.
And how many other languages you speak?
Right now, unfortunately, only these 2. But I'm learning. But I'm learning French right now.
Oh, okay.
So soon, hopefully.
Because most of the musicians, when we bring them in for an interview, they at least spoke 2 or 3. That was very, very amazing.
Mr. Wunder.
Hello.
Am I right?
Yes,
Did I pronounce that okay?
Nice to meet you. Yes,
Ingo?
absolutely.
All right, nice to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry about the hand. Very, very.
That was fine.
Important hands. So we'll talk about your album and how your album is, and what's special about this album. What kind of elements that you wanted to put into this album, right? So where's the location? You know, where are you heading next? Are you going back home or?
Actually, we're going to Tahiti.
Tahiti?
Yes.
Okay, so from winter to tropical paradise?
Yeah, that would be nice.
So you're going to be performing there, or is this for work, or is it for pleasure?
Both. I mean, I will play on a cruise ship.
Oh,
I will
okay.
enter the MS Europe, which is I think got the last 10 years the prize for the best cruise ship, and there's a kind of a classical music.
So how long is the cruise? The whole cruise?
16 days or something, but I'll play 3 times there, but not a real full-length recital, just 50 minutes. But so it will be kind of work, but we'll cruise 16 days from Tahiti to Auckland. So we go through Bora Bora and Rarotonga and whatever it's called.
Can I come with you? I'll carry your passport.
I can ask.
All right, well, we'll see you downstairs in the studio, okay?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. The Chopin E minor is already so long in my life that we kind of grew up together, you know. Although I started to play the piano quite late, with the age of 14 is not so early, but still when I was 16, 17 I learned this piece, so it kind of grew with me the last 8 years or something like this, or more. And it's like a couple getting to know each other better and better. So this piece is really close to my heart.
Korea's trade volume has surpassed $1 billion.
So you started playing when you were 4 years old, violin. You started out with violin.
Yes. With the age of 14, I started to play the piano really. I told my parents, listen, I want to be a pianist.
Did you ever slide off course at a certain point?
And everybody does, and this is important that you do. You have to ask yourself the question if you want to do what you do. And this is always only possible with a, I wouldn't say crisis, but with a time in your life where you are not sure if what you do is the right thing. And then you reconsider, you think about things, you maybe meet the right people, and then you go on track again. And this is what happened to me too.
Well known for his flawless Chopin performances with a fearless style, Ingal Wunder is here in Korea for his latest album release and his recital in Seoul.
Chopin was always the right things come at the right time. So one cannot force anything. Sure, I like the people, openness, along with.
Okay, well, I'm looking very much forward to hearing more about you in the near future. Thank you very much.
It was a real pleasure being here, talking to him in the Arirang studios here. It was enjoyable.
It's an honor to actually get a chance to interview him, and I thought it was like two friends getting together and talking about his trip over here. And I also took home a few tips for my daughter, who is learning the piano at the time. So it was a great interview, and I think it's going to be entertaining for our viewers.